Let's go to Durban now. Tete, I think you can hear me now. Where are you at? You wanted to give us the latest update. We can see some industrial, you're flying over some industrial area.
Dan, this is what I was talking about earlier. I was trying to bring you here to the region of Mlazi, towards the south of Durban, and this is absolutely devastating what we're seeing now. I'm just going to talk you through some of it. So the area to my right is Mlazi. As you know, that's a township here in Durban, and then on the left is an industrial area. You've got the container terminals here. You've got some industries like SAB. You've got Toyota further down the road as well. And all of this has been affected. But I think most shocking is the N2 and the N2 freeway that was completely submerged. That was what was causing a lot of the delays. There's a major hole in the road on the entrance to Mlazi. This is a bridge that leads you into the township. That's where people are gathered now. I mean, they're all around there. There's a massive hole at the center of that very frequently used entrance to the township. That happened throughout the course of the night. You'll see that all of the industries nearby, including these very heavy, thrown aside. So they're all strewn around here. That, I think, will give you an indication. There are houses that have been, or further into the township, there are houses that have been washed away, and out here the damage is very clear. The damage to infrastructure, to those roads. I mean, the road network here has been destroyed in some places, like this, like what you're seeing right now. This is completely destroyed. The N2 itself, which leads down to the south coast, this is in the vicinity of the old airport, if you recall. The N2 down here, which leads to the south coast, is also badly damaged. Who knows what's under the water that's lying over the road now. That's what's preventing traffic from going by. I want you now to take a look at the industries around here and look at the damage that they are facing currently. We saw vehicles that were submerged. We saw these containers. Look at them lying here on their sides. Who knows what's inside those containers? These probably have items inside them as well. There are cars that are lying here, heavy machinery, all of this just still sitting in deep water. Even though the rains had stopped quite early today, it's caused a massive mess. This is not something that's going to be cleaned up in a matter of hours. This is not a situation that's going to be rectified today or tomorrow or over the next day. These are massive shipping containers that you're seeing. There are parts of this road, parts of the N2, a national road, that you can't see anymore. It's just covered in debris, it's damaged, and it's got, in this case, it's lying across it. For a good stretch of it, I'd have to estimate a few kilometers, it's completely submerged. So this is causing huge damage to the infrastructure here. And what worries me about this, in fact, is what it means for the residents of Mlazi and the surrounding areas here, like Isipingo and others. How are these people going to then commute? How are they going to move on and get out of this predicament? You mentioned earlier, the last time we spoke, that part of the problem here, or part of the problem that we're experiencing, is the threat of rain that is still coming this weekend. We did see those forecasts. That's just in a matter of 2 or 3 days. At this point, we can't be clear on whether this water will subside by then, or how far these cleanup operations will be by that time. But I can tell you that personally, I've not seen anything like this in this country ever before as a result of heavy rains. This really does look like a disaster area, and it's going to take a long time to sort all of this out. But then I'll also mention to you now that I seem to have lost my connection to you in my ear, but hopefully we'll be able to re-establish that.
Yeah, let's hope so, Dustin. You are mentioning that this is the first time when you cover a story like this, you haven't seen such damage and of this to this level. We understand from Spamandla Goke, I hope you can hear me, that Sihle Zikalala says the provincial executive will be meeting in an emergency meeting at 5 o'clock this afternoon. That's the meeting that's been convened by the Premier, and part of the discussion would be whether or not to write to the national government and ask for KwaZulu-Natal, definitely parts of it, like the areas you're showing us in and around Durban, to be declared disaster areas, because that will then, lead to certain actions to be taken in terms of supporting the people in those affected areas and also businesses. I don't know if you caught that, Dessen.
Yes, I did you there, Braden, but I'll just pick up from where you left off, because obviously the network is a bit sketchy up here. Remember, we are also having cell phone network problems in the region as a result of these heavy rains. I wanted to take you here to this storage facility for these vehicles. Look at how deeply submerged these cars are. There are probably hundreds, if not 1,000 of vehicles here off to my left. This entire parking area that is here.
It will keep on getting Dassen on and off, and of course he's flying, our eye in the sky. The connectivity is an issue, as we heard from MTN a little bit earlier. MTN itself, infrastructure damage to more than 500 of its sites in and around KwaZulu-Natal. And that picture they're freezing as he's flying over one property, one business property there near Umlazi, near the old airport. It could be a Toyota park, if I stand to be corrected. But you can see the vehicles that have been submerged in water, waterlogged, and one wonders how much damage has been done there. He also showed us a pack of containers from one of the factories in the area. But what's more concerning is that big interchange there that people from Umlazi used to access Durban, and of course people in Durban used to access that area in and out. People are stranded now. There's a big gaping hole in the middle of that highway. That's what we are picking up, the damage that's been done by these heavy rains and the flooding. That's so you can see what's really been happening in KwaZulu-Natal. And at this stage, if you've just joined us, we understand via my colleagues Pamandla Goke that the Premier of the province, Sihle Zikalala, says at least 45 people are now known to have died in this flooding. But of course, the numbers stand to be corrected and confirmed a little bit later on. We know that dozens of people are still reported as missing. Pamandla Goke interviewing one family member in Hammersdale a short while ago, in whose house 5 people died overnight. 4 of them were children and 1 adult. So we'll have to wait and see what are those numbers going to be confirmed as officially. But at this stage, from the Premier's mouth, we know that the number that's being confirmed is 45 people. We'll try and get back to Dassen Tatya a little bit later on. Our eye in the sky over Durban, currently over Umlazi, and that area that's been badly affected. And also with Pamandla Goke on the ground and Letiwe Mdluli.